This man is fucking hot singles in your area. Sign up now. It is precisely 1 o'clock in the morning as we speak, as I record this. It is 1:30 in the morning. The grind does not stop. The grind doesn't stop. The grind doesn't stop. What up, motherfuckers? Want to go bring video? They're so. We're back. I'm back. I said it wasn't going to be like 8 months this time, and it wasn't. The last upload was in like August, okay? So it's only been like 3 months. So it's not that bad. So forgive me for my lack of a consistent upload schedule. But I'm back. I said I would upload like 3 times this year, and I think this is like my 4th or 3rd upload this year. So I'm doing levels. I'm doing mad things. I'm doing mad level things at this moment. I'm killing the game. I've got salt in this motherfucker. But this video's not about me. No. It's about the big red button-sized elephant in the room. The place in which I'm uploading this very video. Fucking YouTube. Another YouTube video. Because YouTube doesn't fail to give me things to bitch about. Let's talk about it. If you haven't heard, well, obviously you've heard, unless you've been living under a damn rock these past few weeks, YouTube made a decision so controversial. One of the founders of the entire damn website, John Kareem, came out and spoke out against it. A decision so bad, a decision so asinine, it makes QAnon sound sane. That decision was to essentially remove dislikes from YouTube. I know. It's shocking. The company with the most disliked YouTube video basically removed dislikes from the entire platform. The button is still there, but the count isn't visible. What's the point? What's the point of having the button if the count isn't visible? The whole point of the dislike button rating system is A, to give your feedback, and to B, share your feedback with others. So if you can't share that feedback with others, half of the purpose of the function is immediately gone from the start. So it doesn't make any damn sense why they would hide the count. Because if you're going on like a tutorial video or something, or just a video in general, to see if the video is worth your watch, a good way to gauge that is to see how many dislikes it has, to see if the video is actually helpful or not. They've completely taken that away from us, so now you could spend 10 minutes of your life, 10 minutes out of your day, watching a pointless video that's going to lead you nowhere closer to where you need to be. Go into the beginnings of this rule change. Let me take you back, like early summer-ish, maybe like July, June. I noticed this a few months ago, back in like July, August. My dislikes completely disappeared from my YouTube app. I went on and I looked at the dislike button, and I saw the button was still there, but you couldn't see the count. And I was confused. I'm like, what the hell is this? What is this? So I looked it up, and apparently other people were doing it. And apparently it was because YouTube tested it out for beta or whatever on certain accounts, and apparently my account was one of them. And a few weeks after that, the count came back and whatever. But then, and I thought nothing of it. Until a few months later, recently, a few weeks ago, when it came into mainstream life, because YouTube said that after the trial run or whatever, they were implementing the change across the entire platform. So across everyone's YouTube app, anything, the dislike count would be hidden. The only place you can see the dislike count is on the YouTube Studio app or the YouTube Studio website, which who the fuck even uses that? Ain't nobody got time to look at the YouTube Studio app to see how many dislikes your video has. Nobody's gonna fucking do that. Who has time for that shit? Half the people who use YouTube don't even have the app downloaded. So what's the point? There's no point. This rule change stems from, apparently, small creators were getting bombarded with dislikes. If you can't handle criticism, don't do YouTube. You can't handle it. If you can't handle criticism, don't do YouTube. It's not the place for you. This is not the website for you. This is not the app for you. This is not the place for you to go on your content. Go on Dailymotion or Vimeo if you don't want fucking backlash or criticism. YouTube is not the place for you, my guy. It's not the place for you, my guy. Now, I think we all know the real reason why they implemented this rule change. It has nothing to do with small creators or protecting small creators of harassment. This has to do with Jawed Karim, the one of the co-founders of YouTube, actually alluded to it. He edited the description of the first YouTube video ever, Me at the Zoo. Hang on, let me read that description for you real quick, just to give you an idea of what was said and Jawed Karim's feelings about this dumbass rule change. So here's what the description that was edited on the first YouTube video ever says. Let me just read it real quick. Watching Matt Koval's announcement about the removal of dislikes, I thought something was off. The spoken words did not match the eyes. The video reminded me of an interview Admiral Jeremiah Denton gave in 1966. I have never seen a less enthusiastic, more reluctant announcement of something that is supposed to be great. Calling the removal of dislikes a good thing for creators cannot be done without conflict by someone holding the title of YouTube's creator liaison. We know this because there exists not a single YouTube creator who thinks removing dislikes is a good idea for YouTube or for creators. Why would YouTube make this universally disliked change? There's a reason, but it's not a good one, and not one that will be publicly disclosed. Instead, there will be references to various studies that apparently contradict the common sense of every YouTuber. The ability to easily and quickly identify bad content is an essential factor of a user-generated content platform. Why? Because not all user-generated content is good. It can't be. In fact, most of it is not good, and that's okay. The idea was never that all content is good. The idea was, however, that among the flood of content, there are great creators, there are great creations waiting to be exposed. And for that to happen, the stuff that's not great has to fall by the side as quickly as possible. The process works, and there's a name for it: the wisdom of the crowds. The process breaks when the platform interferes with it. Then the platform invariably declines. Does YouTube want to become a place where everything is mediocre? Because nothing can be great if nothing is bad. In business, there's only one thing more important than make it better, and that's don't fuck it up. That is one of the co-founders of YouTube saying straight up, this decision by YouTube is shit. And clearly, there's an ulterior motive that is not about creators or small creators at all. It's for a completely different, and it's for the opposite reason that they're saying it is. And let me tell you what that other reason is, and Jawed alluded to it in this description. So very clearly, the reason behind this rule change is because big corporations and advertisers are bitching and moaning about their videos getting disliked bombed by people who don't like the fact that corporations get a big boost on YouTube. Clearly, it's these corporations that are bitching and moaning about this that is causing this rule change. And that is why, in the face of this decision being so shit, YouTube is putting their foot down with this terrible, terrible decision. They're not backing down on this because they're bending down over backwards for corporations because that's what makes them the most money. It's not about the you and YouTube anymore. It's about the corporations and how much money they can make them. It has nothing to do with small creators or creators in general. This has nothing, literally nothing, to do with the thing that YouTube says it was for. They don't give a fuck about small creators. They don't give a fuck. They don't care about that. They care about their pockets and what corporations want from them. And that's why they're making this terrible, terrible decision. They know it's a shit decision. The person announcing it knew it was a shit decision. But they're putting their foot down because they know that their corporate daddies don't like the dislikes that are being bombed on their videos and their content. If you want to read YouTube's full blog post about removing dislikes, I'll put that in the description, along with Me at the Zoo, so you can read the description as well. Screenshots of the description will also be put where I read it. But in conclusion, essentially, this decision by YouTube is so Unquestionably shit. Almost unanimously across the board, not a single creator thinks this idea is a good idea. This is a terrible idea. First off, you can already disable ratings. You can do that. You can do that. Why don't you just give people the option to turn off dislikes and keep likes on? Why don't you just do that instead of turning off dislikes as a whole? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Where does that make sense? Someone justify this to me. Someone make this make sense. Oh wait, you can't, because it doesn't make sense. YouTube is essentially slowly stripping away everything that made it what it is today. It's a user-generated content platform where feedback matters. Now, with this rule change, YouTube is essentially saying feedback doesn't mean shit. It doesn't matter. You can tune your own recommendations, but your feedback doesn't mean a goddamn thing anymore because you can't see dislikes. All you can see is likes, and that doesn't tell the whole story. That just tells one half of the story. That's like me reading half of a book and not reading the other half. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. So why in the actual fuck is YouTube going through with this terrible rule change? Oh, that's why the fucking corporations are bitching and moaning and bitching and moaning and bitching and moaning. They hate it. They hate the fact that people are disliking their content. So they're bitching to YouTube, telling them, hey, can you please, they're hurting us, they're hurting our brand. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. This platform wasn't created for brands anyway. So why the fuck are they catering to brands when it's called YouTube? No, I don't have anything left to say. That's it. That was just kind of a rant to get that off my chest. I wanted to say that. I wanted to get that off of me. I wanted to get that out there, this message out there into the world to tell people, anyone who watches, this rule change is terrible. This rule change is shit, and it has nothing to do with small creators because YouTube doesn't give a fuck about small creators or creators in general. So, that's about it. If like, subscribe, or don't, I don't give a damn. But, anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.